Welcome to another edition of the Sundown series, and as you can tell by last week, I said we will be entering the last state of the series, and ironically, the last state of the series is the first state that I talked about that made me want to kick off this series, and that state is Texas. I cannot believe I started this series back in early 2020, and here we are 2 years later. It took 2 years to get to this point, consistently weekly uploading videos about different sundown towns around the US. That's crazy. I can't believe it. This is almost what it feels like when people are doing stuff for like documentaries and stuff like that. You know, you look at a documentary and you see maybe 2 hours worth of footage that was probably 10 hours worth of footage that they had to scale down from like years of research and travels and all types of stuff like that. That's what I feel like I did. I feel like I went on a nationwide trip just doing all of these videos on these different towns. But here we are, the last state, Texas. And because I started off like kicking off in Texas, there's going to be one town that I'm not going to talk about because it was the town that kicked it off, and I think that was Vital or Vidal. Someone down in the comments will correct me, but it was Vitor of Vitor. I think it's spelled Vitor. That was the city or the town that I did that helped kick off this series, and then I reverted back and went in alphabetical order. So the first town we will be talking about in the state of Texas, or more so the second anyway, if you want to be technical, is Alba, Texas. Alba is a town located at the intersection of US Highway 69 and Farm to Market Road 17 on the western edge of Wood County, Texas, south of Lake Fork, and approximately 10 miles west of Quitman. The population was 504 in the 2010 U.S. Census. That's crazy. 504. A lignite coal deposit was discovered near Alba around 1900, and in 1902 and 1903, the Texas Short Line Railway was constructed to ship coal from Alba and nearby Hoyt to Grand Saline in Van Zant County. By 1911, 5 area mines produced about 40,000 tons of coal per month. Population was around 1,500 by this year. Unlike other coal mines in the state, those at Alba were forced to use convict labor because Alba was a sundown town that banned African Americans and Hispanics from living or working there. Their population actually increased slightly in 2019 to 545. The biggest population that they've ever had was in 1920. That was the last time actually that their population was over 1,000. Every other year after that, according to the census, was under 1,000. They haven't even been over 700 since 1930. Since 1920 actually, because when 1930 came, they went to 662 and they just kept falling and falling and falling. Then they got an increase in 2010 from 2004, which was 430. So this is just a town that's just always been relatively tiny. The racial makeup of the town is 98.6% white, 0.47% black, 0.47% Native American, 0.47% from 2 or more races, and the Hispanic or Latino of any race is 1.16%. So this place is just overwhelmingly Caucasian, point blank period. And usually a lot of these small towns are, you have a town of 545 people, so everybody pretty much knows everybody. And usually those very, very small towns are going to always be overwhelmingly Caucasian. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. And if there's any more additional information for those who live in Texas who are familiar with this town, can provide some more contextual stuff that I did not mention in this video, please put it down in the comments.